Ashadella, Front Street. All my dear girls. Front Street, you're right. As you fall asleep, she wake up. Run and put on her makeup. Rental packed by the bus up. Tonight, come bus go mash it up. Can't have you getting mad. Bad news starting to spread. You prefer to make love, but she rather line up instead.
Can't have you getting mega. DJ Slim, love this one.
Man, having no tell woman. Who keep more man, no woman. Have a stick up in the garden.
I know what you're saying, boy. Matthew, come out, huh?
Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella. One flip,
Well, it's boo your day, huh? Boo your day.
one girl.
Big scene there at Lago tonight.
My woman.
Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, bro?
This one is actually cracking me up. Where you got that from, my brother?
Oh boy, oh boy. You like that? You like it?
I hate it really. Yeah, cracking
What's
me
a guy called Corn, huh?
What's his name?
His name is Corn.
Okay.
I imagine, and it's a song is called Corn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it. All right.
Well, Mervin, if you like it, I'm gonna play it for you again. I'll do that for you, Mervin. I'll do that for you.
Run straight. Don't bubble. Corn flex. Corn milk. Corn dump. Corn girl. Who cheat more man or woman? Scary. You take my woman. I take yours in your hand. Man having no tell woman. Woman jumping from man to man. Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella, my woman. Have a stick up.
12:48 is the afternoon time. Hello.
You have too much roll.
It's not me.
I'm the DJ Slim Adone.
DJ Slim tell me to play this one. He love it. So I'm playing that one, okay?
You like the ring. DJ Melbourne, you take my woman.
DJ Slim and Fitzroy,
All the call you massive. Man having no tell woman.
our assistant tech.
Who keep more man or woman? Have a stick up. Straight in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella. Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella. Front straight. All my dear girls. Front straight, you're right. As you fall asleep, she wake up. Run and put on her makeup. Rental packed by the bus up. Tonight, come bus go mash it up. Can't have you getting mad. Bad news starting to spread. You prefer to make love, but she rather line up instead. You take my woman. I take yours in your hand. Man having no tell woman. Who cheat more man or woman? Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella. Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella. One flex, one milk, one dump, one girl.
World Bouillon Day featuring Bouillon Music.
You take my woman. I take yours in your hand. Man having no tell woman. Woman jumping from man to man. Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella. Have a stick up in the garden. Upemila, Ashadella.
Let's take a new one from Triple K.
Hey,
Now the Booyah Queen, just crowned for the second time in a row. Kalin XP. Tonight in Lago.
Everybody ready for action, and you know it's not stop jamming. Well, Carnival is a bacchanal and for the misbehaving. Can't wait for Tuesday morning when you see me playing a mass. The rum in my head already, never see me without a glass. When you see me getting up crazy, just give me room, let me pass. We ready for all the action, so start to shake up your head. The fact that the rhythm rocking, the dance is going crazy. The fact that the rhythm rocking, you wanna bounce, bounce. The fact that the rhythm rocking, they cannot stop the show. Give me the rhythm. Just let the booyah flow. I'm calling all my booyah massive and crew. All my crew, get ready to jump. One, get ready. Two, get ready. One, two. Everybody let me see you jump, jump, jump. I wanna see.
And now we're going back a few years.
Higher people jump.
I call him the Booyah King, huh?
See you jump.
Where the Tommy come on, still there? Where the SM crew? Antigua, baby, yeah. Cause we don't want a foreign gal. No boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal. Annoying gal. We don't want a foreign gal. No boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal. Annoying gal. Strictly local. Lativa girl. Strictly local. Wolfpack. Strictly local. Where the SDE crew? Strictly local. FQ, strictly local. Foreigners can't go, no, they can't go. Foreigners down, no, they don't. Read them like book, yes, just like book. Local girls, you cute, yes, you so cute. Wood for the massive, Woody, where do you want a crew? Cause we don't want a foreign gal, no boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal, annoying gal. We don't want a foreign gal, no boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal, annoying gal. Strictly local. La Puente, strictly local. St. Giorgio, strictly local. Where the Sunday ground girls, strictly local. FQ, strictly local. Foreigners too slick, full of trick. Local girls you sweet, so unique. Give me a local girl any day, anytime, any minute of the week. Bring me a local drink, a local food and a local chick. Grande, GX, where the White City crew. Cause we don't want a foreign gal, no boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal, annoying gal. We don't want a foreign gal, no boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal, annoying gal. Strictly local. Bossy girls, strictly local. Calypso, baby, strictly local. Where the Marigot crew, strictly local. Wesley, strictly local. Certain things that foreign girls can do, they can do. Shake the thing and take the thing like you, just like you. Certain things that foreign girls can do, they can do. Just to the best impress, can't test like you, can't test you. Where the Maho crew, Orange City, Anguilla, baby. Cause we don't want a foreign gal, no boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal, annoying gal. We don't want a foreign gal, no boring gal. We don't want a foreign gal, annoying gal. Strictly local. Dockside girls, strictly local. Cornsack, baby, strictly local. St. Peter's, strictly local.
Massive pre-carnival sale is on at Esau Trading Limited. From today until February 25th, 50 up to 75% off on all men, ladies and children outerwear, including leggings, shorts, sweatpants, jean skirts, shirts, polo shirts, ladies tops, and much more. Carnival revelers, take advantage of this super offer. Come and get your perfect carnival outfits at amazingly low prices. Also, don't miss out on promotions like buy one, get one free Dento toothpaste and mouthwash, a pack of 12 Duetto biscuits only $2, Sierra drink mix only 90 cents, glucose biscuits only 15 cents, and more. Great savings on a variety of products including Costa tuna and mackerel, Bonlay and Daisy evaporated milk, Champion pasta, a variety of cooking oil in various sizes up to 20 liters and much, much more. Yes, great savings at Esau Trading Limited. Visit us today.
Mask and massive, this is your final tent. Yes, Flight 767 is making its final landing, its final stop back at the Holland Plaza for Showdown Mass Camp, Champ of the Camp. Who will it be? Who will it be? Danyan, Inciter, Chelsea, Trinity, Vigilante, Picklock, Iration, Inoa, Deros, Peter Bros. Will it be Songproof, Mask Eruption, Judgment, Bendo, Leona, Triumph, Checo, Sai, Bob, or King Dice? Your guess is as good as mine. Ooh, we had fun on our journey of love, honoring our brother Buble. But let's continue celebrating his life with one final show, one final tent. This Thursday 26th, it is the champ of the camp at the Holland Plaza. More sweet Calypso, more fun, more entertainment. Come, bring a friend, and well-stocked bar awaits you. It's champ of the camp. Who will emerge the winner as Flight 767 comes in for a final landing at the Holland Plaza? Sponsored by Caribbear, Carimalta, and Shandy, Fine Foods Inc., All Nations Bar, Dr. Irvin Pascal, National Pest and Termite Control, Percy and Tony in Texas, 4D Limited, Rosalie Bay Resorts, Sing Waller Blomquist Williams, VF Inc., Jar Sales, All Saints University, Neo Expressions Inc., and the Continental Store, and partners Q95, the big station, TBS Radio, Mapping 2K4, TDN Radio, DNO, Comsi TV, and CBN4.
Are you a Calypso lover? Shop $150 and more at LA Dupini Hardware now to February 24th and get a chance to win tickets to Calypso Finals. Shop for all your hardware needs, small appliances, kitchenware, bathroom accessories, paint, and so much more. Shop this carnival and win. LA Dupini Hardware on Long Lane in Roseau. Have a safe and happy carnival.
Delicious and creamy coconut curry shrimp, decadent and smoky barbecue ribs, mouth-watering seafood, and a wide selection. Try a satisfying glass of our famous Greenhouse Rum Punch. Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill, the ideal place for casual dining, healthy MSG-free foods. Come and dine with us in our downtown location or on the Mero Highway. And don't forget our Bayview Catering Hall, where we do weddings, company events, and so much more. Greenhouse is a place for a quality dining experience, drinks, and a comfortable ambiance. Call us in Roseau, 448-0080. In Mero, 449-7223. Visit our Facebook page, Greenhouse Sports Bar and Grill and Bayview Catering Hall. We work hard at improving our quality to meet your demands.
The National Cooperative Credit Union Limited is offering cash secured loans at a very special 5.99% interest rate. Members can use savings and deposits to quickly obtain loans for any purpose. Just walk into any of NCCU's 6 branches today and apply. Set your own repayment terms and get your same day loan. Promotion ends May 31, 2017.
Terms and conditions apply.
The Dominica Calypso Association, in collaboration with headline sponsor Flow and Heineken, present the 2017 Calypso Modak Finals on Saturday, February 25th, 8:30 p.m. at the Eddie Andre Carnival City, Portersville. Can King Dice continue his dominance and rewrite the history books? What do you have to say, the genius?
I know that's why.
Or can JD go all the way?
All the way this time.
Can the Bob finally conquer with love and respect?
Respect for one another.
And what about the web and his nice boy?
He was a nice boy.
As the Calypso formula returned, the Daddy Chess.
So are we.
about the judging criteria.
Or will the caresser get stuck in a minor key?
The tie up the tongue in the minor key.
What about the ghetto youths and Jenny?
Ghetto youths, are you ready?
Any free lunch, Tasha P?
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Will loving Dominica be enough for Stephen?
I come from TNT and was embraced by Whitey Kubuli.
Or will the conqueror lion make it 9 with flowers?
Flowers, flowers.
Grounds $80 sitting 120 EC. The Grand Calypso Finals at the Eddie Andre Carnival City Saturday, ground February 25th. Sakaimala.
Welcome to Q95's Lunchtime News Update for today, Tuesday, February 21st, 2017. In local news, weak unstable conditions due to the presence of a trough system is expected to result in increased cloudiness and scattered showers across parts of the island chain during the next 24 hours. As a result, persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are being advised to be vigilant and to exercise caution. Meanwhile, slight to moderate seas are expected during the next 24 to 48 hours, with waves peaking near 5 feet. Small craft operators and sea bathers on the west coast are advised to exercise caution. In other news, the Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations and head of the United Nations Stabilization Mission in Haiti, Sandra Honoré, has reiterated her concerns over the deaths of 42 detainees since the start of the year. Media reports in Haiti stated that the detainees live in disreputable conditions with no toilets in the cells, forcing prisoners to use polystyrene containers and throwing them out of the windows. They also report a lack of lighting, ventilation, and that the overpopulation is such that it is not uncommon for 4 detainees to share a bunk. Last year, 53 people died in detention, and the authorities have acknowledged that the 14 deaths in January were due to anemia, severe anemia, cardiorespiratory arrest, respiratory distress, pulmonary tuberculosis, hypovolemic shock, and gastroenteritis. And U.S. President Donald Trump has condemned dozens of violent threats made against U.S. Jewish community centers in the last few weeks. We have to fight bigotry, intolerance, and hatred in all of its very ugly forms, he said while visiting an African-American museum in Washington. The anti-Semitic threats targeting our Jewish community and community centers are horrible and painful, he said. The FBI is investigating following more threats on Monday. The president also spoke out against racism during his remarks at the end of a tour of the National Museum of African American History and Culture in the nation's capital. And this concludes your Lunchtime News Update. I'm Linda Martin. Do join us again at 4 for the Prime Evening News Update. Good afternoon.
In other news, NBD has dropped their interest rate on vehicle loans to 7.5%.
Babe, turn up the volume on the radio.
The bank encourages customers to take advantage of this opportunity to get full financing on a vehicle with this low rate from now until May 15.
Did you hear that? 7.5% interest rate and full financing?
What's more, 3 lucky customers will get their vehicle license paid for up to 3 years. Visit a branch, call 255-2300 or go to nbdominica.com for more information and other terms and conditions.
Hun, I'm off to NBD.
Babe, wait for me.
Apply for your vehicle loan today. NBD, your partner, your bank.
Bluebird is back at Dragon Windows Detroit Tires. Bluebird T-shirt Carnival Band 2017 is here. Come chat with the best band on the road for Carnival Monday. Bluebird. For only $60, you get bottles, racks, bandanas, unlimited drinks, and the musical Beast of the Nation, the first serenade. It's Saturday at Inland Revenue on High Street, and groups of 10 or more get a special discount. Bluebird Carnival T-shirt band is brought to you by Dragon Windows and D-Tread Tires Inc. And also proudly sponsored by Colony Beer, Fine Food Zinc, GB Truckee, The Sideman, and Lewis Whiskey. So it's a party with Bluebird on Carnival Monday. Register today.
You see this year, Kayo? We ain't pleasing nobody. I'm pleasing myself. Me alone. So you better please yourself. Please yourself. This is Carnival. No matter what you do, you can never please people. Never, ever. No matter how you try, they will never satisfy. Never, ever. So this year, I'm pleasing myself. I'm pleasing and nobody else. Take a selfie. I'm pleasing myself. I'm pleasing and
World Booyah Day.
I'm pleasing myself. I'm pleasing and nobody else. Nobody. I'm pleasing myself. I'm pleasing and nobody else.
We're gonna come back to talk.
I'm amazing. I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
Right after this.
Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95. Every day, Monday to Friday, exploring the sights, sounds, happening talk on the blocks, healthy lifestyles, and culture of Dominica. Enjoy daily giveaways of valuable products and services from leading businesses on the Nature Island of the Caribbean. Stay locked and immerse yourself in the breathtaking views from above the undulating hills and valleys, and in the magnificent marine adventures beneath our Caribbean Sea. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95, only on the big station. Get a taste of the enchanting Creole and indigenous cuisine and lifestyles of the charming people of Dominica. Experience the dynamic rhythms of our culture, music and entertainment, our vibrant, unique niche agribusiness products, our refreshing range of colorful flowers, and the fabulous foliage in our horticulture. Explore the prolific life-sustaining values of our natural foods, herbal teas, spices, and medicines. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951. Every day, Monday to Friday on Live 95. Only on the big station. Only on Q95.
Good afternoon. This is the talk on the block. Details are still sketchy at this time, but we're following a story out of the eastern community of Boitica, where we are told that a man was shot after he attempted or allegedly stabbed a police officer. Jason Fontaine has been following that story. Good afternoon, Jason, who is from the neighboring community of La Plaine. How are you?
Good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon to Dominicans, and good afternoon to the rest of the listeners as far as those from the metropolitan area, New Jersey, New York, and also those who are in St. Croix and Thomas. Good afternoon to you all, Matt.
What's the latest? What can you tell us about the incident this morning, about the allegations of a police shooting a man in that area?
Yes, that is correct, Matt. I can confirm, and I can say that there is a dead corpse actually in La Plaine, in the Botica, actually the district of the Eastern District. It's a little village after La Plaine, La Ronde, La Pochette, and then you end up in Botica, then you are Daly. There was a police shooting this morning of a mentally ill individual who was the police confronted. I guess there was some issues going on with that individual, and apparently that individual, it's alleged that he attacked the police. Actually, stabbing or wounding one of the police officers, I'm hearing, and the other officer, which is a younger officer, who also drew his weapon. and fire one shot to the chest of that individual, throwing that individual down to the ground. And eventually later the doctor for the district, I guess, showed up with the sergeant and presumed the body dead to be dead corpse. The CID Criminal Investigation Department has been routed to that area, and also Gentle Rest. The funeral home has arrived here on scene and retrieved the corpse of that individual. Due to the investigations of the shooting, that will be left to the police department and then the superintendent of police and to follow investigations and if the shooting was a justified shooting, or whether it was a senseless shooting, or whether the officer shot in self-defense from that individual. But Matt, I can confirm to you, to the people of Dominica, and to your listeners, there was a police shooting at the Butcher village, and one man is dead, shot by the police.
How are the villagers in Buenica and La Plaine reacted?
Well, some of the individuals that I've spoken to are making, you'll always have opposition, you'll always have different, especially knowing the condition and the situation that's going on in the country today. You'll have a lot of views of people saying different things. What I've been hearing is that the police should have shot him in the leg, the police should have used less restraint, the police should have or tried to talk him. But Matt, sometimes we have to give our police some credit sometimes, because sometimes the job that they do out there is not a big job. Sometimes you do as a police officer when they're training Monbrose. I'm assuming that they would use some type of discretion in terms of these types of incidents, and I'm assuming that they could have put some type of discretion into play. But again, we cannot come to conclusion and try to come at the police so critically. As the information comes in and as the investigation goes on, we'll find out exactly really what happened, really what took place. But, we also have to give the credit. They've been doing a wonderful job out there in the East. So, but again, you must have understand the police who shot that individual. You just imagine what he may be going through emotionally, or right now maybe it's recommended, I would assume, to the Commissioner of Police that individual maybe take some leave to recuperate of that thing. Because, Matt, it's not easy to look at someone and pull the trigger and shoot him. So I'm pretty sure that maybe he's shaken, maybe he's frightened a little bit.
Because I'm so sure as you just suggested that people are saying, well, could he have used, was that the best way to shoot the guy, I'm sure those suggestions will come up.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm expecting in a couple of days, the nation will be expecting in a couple of days to hear the different sides, different stories. People are always going to start pointing fingers. They're going to say, oh, you guys shouldn't shoot the guy, you guys should shoot him in the leg, or you guys shouldn't shoot him there, shoot him there. But we have to be patient as Dominicans and not be quick to come to judgment and let the investigation go through. I mean, the officers are hardworking officers, and whether it's as it's alleged that the individual may or have attacked the officer or one of the officers at the scene, and the other officer draw his weapon and fire. As a councillor in the district in the city of La Plaine, I would ask the officers or whatever the investigators to go ahead and do a full investigation based on what transpired this morning at Boutica. And by the officer with a list, he should have at least could use his discretion. Whether the officers were trained in the site in terms of a site patient, when approaching a site patient, how do you approach a site patient? Do you go with lethal action, or do you get the a backup, or do you actually get the doctor or the district doctor or the fire and ambulance service to assist you in terms of restraining a sick or mentally challenged individual? So there is a lot of questions that actually will be led to be answered by the public, and also by the investigators who is going to take this case.
I just heard from a lawyer there. I just took a call out off air, and the lawyer was basically suggesting that right now, as we speak, somebody's dead, and the police may be arrested or should be arrested, and let the investigations take its toll. So that's what the lawyer is suggesting at this point.
Well,
because remember, a man is dead.
I'm sorry?
I say, remember, as we speak, a man is dead.
Yes, there is a man shot by the police. So it's a law-abiding officer.
But be it as it may, I mean, we will have investigations, and maybe that. But as a lawyer has suggested to me that the police officer who allegedly shot the man should be arrested and let the investigations take its course, huh?
Well, that is, well, if that's the legal point of view from that attorney, and that is the strategy, the way of going, well, the police has protocols that every company does have protocols. I would assume that when something like this of massive happens, that the officer be placed on administrative leave until further notice, or have the investigation going through and see what's going on. But as far as going ahead and right away and arrest the officer, I think knowing that he was illegally to be handling a firearm, legally being able to hold a firearm and making an arrest.
But the case, as the lawyer was insisted, the fact remains that somebody is dead and they may have to answer some questions.
Absolutely. I understand your point. Matt. I understand your point. Well, I would just, let justice take its course. I'm sure that the people, Matt, I was at the health center actually this morning, and when at La Plaine, when one of the nieces of that, it's one, I think it's the video. She did video, and she got the message. She got the message that her uncle got shot, and it was broken. She was broken down, and she was. The first thing out of her mouth was, "Why didn't they shoot him in the leg?" And that is something
I imagine these questions will come up in the investigations, huh?
I'm sorry?
I'm saying that these questions will come up in the investigation. But I'm just telling you, not my view, the lawyer's view, huh? The lawyer's view, he's saying that somebody's dead, and this police, whether he's innocent or not, should be arrested.
Absolutely. I would assume that would be the course of action that the superintendent of the police can take as we speak, and also I can assume that the investigation as it goes, what the protocols are in terms of a shooting, and actually shooting a man straight in his chest. It depends on the range and the distance of the shooting or what happens. But Matt, this is not the first time police have been involved in shootings.
Yeah, but we're not talking about the other times. We're talking about this time. And I'm going to allow the public to weigh in on this one. Hello. Thank you very much. Hello. $1.19. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. We should not be calling the case in the media.
No, I'm just saying, no, we're not calling it a case. We're saying what should happen or not. It's not a case. It's a matter of protocol.
Yeah, but it is not the media to call the case. The police.
It's not a case. We're not calling it a case, sir. The lawyer was basically suggested that protocol dictates that if somebody's dead, somebody gets arrested. It's nothing about calling the case.
I like what the lawyers say, but journalists should not be calling the case right now.
My friend, you're still telling me I'm calling the case. This is not a case. This is a matter of being arrested or not arrested. The case will be held in the court. All right, thank you. 120. He's still insisting that's a case. It's not a case. Hello. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt.
How you doing?
Not too bad on you. Matt, sometimes we just on the side just and talk.
Yes.
In things like that, I was on the scene and it had to be a self-defense, just self-defense.
Right, well, we agree with that, but I'm just saying that let the investigations ensue. But somebody remains dead as we speak.
Yes, Matt, because probably it could be worse if it didn't happen that way.
Exactly, but now you're assuming because you were not there. 121, hello. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm just listening to your earwaves there. And you're that incident in where's it, La Plaine area?
Yes, in Boytica.
Yeah. To me, I just feel that I don't want to guide you. I'm not telling you how to run your program or anything like that, but I just want to express my opinion respectfully. And I really think for an incident that just happened without fast playoff and all of that, I would recommend to you that you don't allow the general public to weigh in on the situation.
It's not weighed in, caller. The lawyer has just suggested that he finds it strange that, this police officer has not been arrested and somebody's dead. That's basically what it is. Not about weighing in or weighing out, if you will. But it's just a lawyer expressing his opinion. It's about the law of the land.
Yes, but then you now ask the public to weigh in on that.
No. We're asking you whether you think that the police should be arrested or not. It's a straight case. That's basically it. All right. It's not about what happened there. It's about the person now being dead. Okay. And maybe another lawyer can call in and express his opinion on that. Hello, talk to me.
Dominica is that backward country because black people live.
Anybody who's dead, somebody gets arrested for that.
This guy is baffling me, the standard of intelligence in Dominica. My brother.
We're not telling you whether he's guilty or not. We're just asking you, is it in the process? Because if it was somebody else, maybe they would have gotten arrested.
Matt, it is not sub judice.
Yes.
So we can talk about it, my brothers. Stop making a fool of yourselves on the radio. Go and educate yourselves. It's a free country. People will talk, whether it's in America, CNN or Fox. Somebody has been killed. Investigation obviously will continue. You cannot stop people from talking. It's still a democratic country. Despite what Scout is doing, it's still a democracy, my brother. And stop making a fool of yourselves on the radio. Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. All right, 4493095. Hello.
Yes, Matt, good afternoon to you.
How are you doing?
The police should be arrested because of the procedure that normally takes place. And secondly, the police should use his discretion. That is my firm recommendation.
The matter of discretion, we would have to get that from the police because none of us were there. But in terms of procedure, if somebody gets killed, somebody would be taken into, arrested and taken in for questioning. I'm sure that's what's going on right now. Nobody's saying the police is guilty, but according to the lawyer, I'm going to try to get that lawyer on the phone, or another lawyer. That's basically procedure. Hello. Yes.
The problem is that the police are ill-equipped to deal with those situations, and they need some non-lethal type weapons to deal with it, something like tasers. That's what they need. Put the CBI money to work. Good afternoon.
No, we're not trying to make this one political at all. 124. Hello.
Matt?
Yes.
You see, when some people doesn't want certain people to be arrested, thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Matt, good afternoon.
Yes, how are you, sir?
I'm very good, sir. Matt, I do not know the people.
I know you don't know.
But I would just extend my condolences to them. And, of course, to the police force at this time, it's difficult for them, Matt.
It is.
I am not sure what the lawyer said, if that is how it works, It's not because somebody dead, somebody has to be arrested. If a policeman is called...
It doesn't mean that you're going to get charged for it, You will be brought in. I mean, people are brought in for as you've seen over the past few weeks, people are brought in for things that they have not done. So that is what an arrest is about. Doesn't mean that you're going to get charged for it.
Yeah, Matt, I've heard you explain all that. But however, if a policeman is called on duty, probably to quell a breach of the peace, or there is some civil disobedience, and of course, in his lawful execution of his duty, Matt, we're talking about lawful execution of his duty, whereas he has to neutralize a threat, whatever that threat is. Of course, the neutralization has to be proportionate with, the threat. Matt, a man can't just say, I'm going to join the policeman and shoot him. So if the policeman, in his discretion, feel that was, and I'm not justifying anything, Matt, please, don't get me wrong. If that is the amount of force that was required to neutralize the threat, then, it is very sad that somebody loses.
Are you saying to me as a police officer, so former police officer, now that somebody is dead, that person should not be arrested and questioned about the incident, whether he's guilty or not?
Yeah, but then the matter has to be investigated, Matt. The matter is, what do you say arrest? Arrest what? Arrest for what?
All right. So you're asking a very important question. Why, for example, the members of the opposition United Workers' Party were arrested?
You want my opinion on this?
Yes, you have very honest opinion on this. They may have done nothing, but they are arrested and brought in for questioning. The fact remains that a few of them were not charged. But I just said, as it relates to protocol.
Mark, when you arrest somebody, they have to be bailed, you know. Imagine you could detain somebody for questioning. You are detained. You are not arrested. You are detained. Your liberty is somewhat restricted because of questioning or pending investigation. When somebody is arrested, they have to be bailed or brought before the court.
All right, let me see if I can get a lawyer. Maybe Joshua Francis, you listen and you may be able to assist me here, because I don't think people, getting the point.
Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95. Every day, Monday to Friday, exploring the sights, sounds, happening talk on the blocks, healthy lifestyles, and culture of Dominica. Enjoy daily giveaways of valuable products and services from leading businesses on the Nature Island of the Caribbean. Stay locked and immerse yourself in the breathtaking views from above the undulating hills and valleys, and in the magnificent marine adventures beneath our Caribbean Sea. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951 on Live 95, only on the big station. Get a taste of the enchanting Creole and indigenous cuisine and lifestyles of the charming people of Dominica. Experience the dynamic rhythms of our culture, music and entertainment, our vibrant, unique niche agribusiness products, our refreshing range of colorful flowers, and the fabulous foliage in our horticulture. Explore the prolific life-sustaining values of our natural foods, herbal teas, spices, and medicines. All this and more on Nature Island Cruise 951. Every day, Monday to Friday on Live 95. Only on the big station. Only on Q95.
Okay, I think I have Joshua Francis on the line here. Joshua, a big debate, a discussion going on as it relates to protocol, to an incident like this. Somebody got shot, police officer, be it in self-defense or not. People are saying, no, it should not happen that way. And others are saying, that's protocol. You have to bring in the police and question him. Joshua, can you help me out there?
Hi, good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon to your listeners. Matt, I'm always ready and prepared to assist the public. Of course, my opinion is one of several legal opinions, and I'm happy to add value to the discussion. Matt, someone got shot and killed. This is not a dog, a goat, or a cattle. Even in cases like the United States of America, where dogs are shot publicly or privately, we have officials who investigate the matter to ascertain whether there or such event was justified or not. And I'm saying this to say that we must place more value on lives in this country. Whether the deceased was mad, whether he was mentally unstable or not, he's a human being. I don't have the facts. What I know is that in situations of that nature, it would be expected for the lawmen or the police force of the Commonwealth of Dominica to launch the appropriate investigation in the determination of whether there was justified homicide or not. The issue of arrest basically arises where the lawman is expected to pick up that person responsible for the shooting to investigate in determining whether his shooting was justified or not. An arrest does not mean that the arrestee is necessarily going to be charged. And even if the arrestee were to be charged, that has to be determined based on the discretion of the investigation and those responsible for the matter. Ultimately, if that person is charged, the matter will be brought before the court, and the court will determine whether the matter should proceed. And if it proceeds, the guilt of the person will be determined. But at this stage, in a civil society, in a democracy, in a country where we want to upgrade civilization, it is highly appropriate that an investigation is launched immediately. On the issue of discussing the case on radio, I do agree that the facts ought not to be ventilated to a point where it can contaminate what I would expect. And that is my view. I am of the opinion, I do not know who are the parties involved. What I know is that the life was taken based on information given on your station, and that the appropriate thing is for an investigation to be conducted.
So you're saying that arrest doesn't mean that the individual may be guilty?
Not at all, Matt. The issue of guilt is determined by a court of law, which is an independent judiciary body. At this stage, the policemen have a quasi-judicial duty, which is to conduct an investigation in the determination of whether that murder, as well, let me don't use that word murder, in that killing was justified or not. You have some referred to as justified homicide. I only one or two of your callers who appear to have been on the scene spoke about self-defense. I'm not in a position to say whether there was or there wasn't, and that is why an investigator has to find himself at Boutica to ask questions, to pick up the person responsible for the shooting, to take him to the police station and to ask him questions. Now, an arrest can be constructive. And an arrest basically is when you take someone's liberty to question him or her on suspicion of committing an offense. The fact is that somebody's dead, and I repeat myself, this is not a boat or fall, Dominicans. We need to rise in this country and elevate and upgrade our thinking. I see in the United States of America where a country goes out to save dogs, to investigate persons who do cruelty to animals. And in this country, Dominica, we have one murders and it's just like an ordinary thing. If some man got shot in Boutica and life goes on. People, we need to upgrade our thinking. This is somebody's child. This is somebody's brother. This is somebody's friend. Whether he had a mental problem or not, he was a human being, and the dignity of humanity would necessitate a basic investigation in the matter. I am not in a position to tell the Commissioner of Police or the Commonwealth of Dominica to launch an investigation or not. However, as an attorney, I have certain basic expectations in the machinations of the legal system in the Commonwealth of Dominica. And I would be highly surprised if an investigation is not activated in the determination of whether that killing was justified or not.
Joshua Francis, thank you very much. Of course, you heard the lawyer basically, suggesting the same thing that I said another lawyer spoke to me about earlier. That is just the process. Somebody says the word may be not arrest, but assisting the police with their investigation. I guess the jury's still out on this one. Hello, talk to me. We have a very interesting question that we need to ask sometime later in the afternoon. Just about 15 minutes, and next week we'll extend that. Hello, talk to me.
Good afternoon, Martin.
How you doing? How you doing?
Martin, I thought I could concur with you. And thanks to Joshua, who just intervened and educate the insensitive people that live in Dominica. Why Dominicans are so insensitive, man? My goodness, these are a bunch of hypocrites on this country now. Come on, man, come on. A man is shot, and these people talking about match should not be talking about it on the radio. These people are insensitive, man. Dominicans are hypocritical, man. I'm sick and tired of these Dominicans that just talk a lot of foolishness, man. Have a nice day, man. God bless.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's see if we can get another opinion there. Let's see. Matt, anytime there's a police involved shooting, in most jurisdictions, the officer involved is put on administrative leave while the shooting is investigated. As if if Dominica does the same thing, the police would have to say what their procedure is. That being said, the people trying to tell you shouldn't let people call and give their opinions that the shooting seem to misunderstand freedom of speech or the right for citizens to discuss whatever happens in the country without fear or retribution. That's the norm. And the U.S. police shootings are discussed as soon as it happens. Maybe in Dominica, we're not part of the world, so we should not discuss it. Hello.
Matt, good afternoon, and good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Doing good, and I'm listening with great interest, but I am bewildered at the comments I'm hearing. Matt, here in the United States, when a policeman kills someone, whether it is in self-defense or not, the first order or the protocol or the procedure is that police picking up the beat and he's put on a death duty, followed by a grand jury with all the evidence to determine if charges should be brought. At that time, the police is still not found guilty or guilty. From there, it goes to the court, and the court determines, depending on what the grand jury recommends, that is when that police will know whether he is guilty or not. But for arrest, the word arrest that is being used, I think it is used loosely, because that could be it could be a deranged individual who leaped at the police with a deadly weapon, and that police life was at stake, and he has every right to defend himself. Now, I hear the folks say he could have been shot in the leg and all of that. That's not how it is in the United States at all at the moment. It's happening such a quick that the individual, the police, first thing he got to think is to defend himself, and that is to shoot whoever is trying to take his life. But these charges are not brought until a grand jury hears all the evidence in closed doors, and then they decide whether charges should be brought. After that, it goes to the court. So I know Dominican laws is based, many of it is based on the British and the American. That's all I have to say, Matt.
All right, thank you. I have different opinions, right? Hello.
Matt,
yes.
The long and the short, Matt, if the police were equipped, and of course the police in the States are equipped, but the time factor, whether or not he drew his gun or he drew his taser.
My friend, I am not going to go down there. I was not there. You were not there. I'm not going to, even imagine what went on there. The question is whether he should be arrested and brought in for questioning. That's all it is. I'm not going to go to this. I was far from Botica this morning. All right? Thank you very much. Whether they use the right force or not, I was not there, you were not there. We're going to assume, all right? And you know what assume it is? Making of you and me, okay? We're going to come back. Hello, talk to me. 449-3095. We'll take our final call on the subject for now, and then we'll come back right after this, okay?
The Dominica Calypso Association, in collaboration with headline sponsor Flow and Heineken, present the 27th Calypso Modak Finals on Saturday, February 25th, 8:30 p.m. at the Eddie Andre Carnival City, Portersville. Can King Dice continue his dominance and rewrite the history books? What do you have to say, the genius?
I hear folks that's why.
Or can JD go all the way?
All the way this time.
Can the bomb finally conquer with love and respect?
Respect for one another.
And what about the web and his nice boy?
He was a nice boy.
Has the Calypso formula returned the daddy chest?
So worry about the judging criteria.
Or will the caressa get stuck in a minor key?
The tie up the tongue in the minor key.
What about the ghetto youths and Jenny?
Ghetto youths, are you ready?
Any free lunch at Tasha P?
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Will Love in Dominica be enough for Stephen?
I come from TNT and was embraced by Whitey Kubuli.
Or will the conquering lion make it 9 with flowers?
Flowers, flowers.
Grounds $80, sitting 120 EC. The Grand Calypso Finals at the Eddie Andre Carnival City, Saturday, February 25th. Sakaimala.
Run straight, go bubble. Flex, cornmeal, condom, corn.
Mask and massive, this is your final tent. Yes, Flight 767 is making its final landing, its final stop back at the Holland Plaza for Showdown Young Max Camp, champ of the camp. Who will it be? Who will it be? Danyan, Inciter, Chelsea, Trinity, Vigilante, Picklock, Iration, Inoa, Deros, Peter Pross. Will it be Songproof, Mask Eruption, Judgment, Benno, Leona, Triumph, Checo, Sai, Bob, or King Dice? Your guess is as good as mine. Ooh, we had fun on our journey of love, honoring our brother Bublé. But let's continue celebrating his life with one final show, one final tent. This Thursday 26th, it is the champ of the camp at the Holland Plaza. More sweet Calypso, more fun, more entertainment. Come, bring a friend, and well-stocked bar awaits you. It's champ of the camp who will emerge the winner as Flight 767 comes in for a final landing at the Harlem Plaza. Sponsored by Caribbean, Caribalta, and Shandy, Fine Foods Inc., All Nations Bar, Dr. Irvin Pascal, National Pest and Termite Control, Percy and Tony in Texas, 4D Limited, Rosary Bay Resorts, Sing Waller Blomquist Williams, VF Inc., Jar Sales, All Saints University, Neo Expressions Inc., and the Continental Store, and partners Q95, the big station, TBS Radio, Mapping 2K4, TDN Radio, DNO, Comsi TV, and CBN4.
Dominica, for the time remaining here, we get to go to, of course, Kathy has been with us for, especially on a Tuesday, but with what has been happening for some time, we kind of suspend it until now, just for 10 minutes. We did say when we come back, we'll talk about this particular subject of telephones. Should a employer allow telephones, cell phones in the workplace? Kathy, there's been much discussion. I'm having a little nasal issue here, but slowly going away. Should we allow telephones, cell phones in the workplace? That's the question I want to ask for the remaining 15 minutes.
Hi, Matt. Good afternoon.
How are you
Nice
doing?
to be back here again. A lot of people have been asking about this program because apparently it's also very controversial in terms of
it is
what persons think is customer service or good service or just what you do we normally do about life and living life properly. I am not going to answer that question.
Why?
Yes or no. Because I can be on either side. I've spoken to quite a number of persons as to what do they think of that topic, including HR managers and employees and managers. On the managerial part of it, I would say no. Especially the intensified use and accessibility of all the types of social media, it can be a distraction. It can serve as a distraction. Even though you put your phones on silent and vibrate, you know you're expecting a text, you know you're expecting a call. For me, for example, like me, I don't have any alerts on my phone. I don't even see it a necessity. Why? Because I have a smartphone. I expect to be sent messages or to have, if I want to send someone a message, it's at my fingertip. I expect an email to come from my email box well, I don't have Facebook on my phone, but if I did, I probably would be checking it to see what is up to date. So there's a level of expectancy that you have when you have access to your phones. On the flip side, I'm a mother. And you want to also know that if case of any emergency, that they can have easy or quick access to you. However, going back on the other side, there are telephones in the school. The same thing we tell at the workplace. These are the same things we tell our children. If there's an emergency in school, you don't need a phone. They can go to the office to make a call. However, sometimes you want to be in direct contact with the information and you really want the information readily at your tip. So I cannot say no and I cannot say yes. If I'm at a workplace and they have to eliminate the use of phones, I can understand why, having also been in a managerial position and being on the other side as an employee.
Let's go back a few years. You're not that old and you're not that young. When your mommy or your mother or parents wanted to get in touch with you for some emergency, they knew how to find you. Yes?
That's correct. However, that is one comparison I prefer not to use in any conversation, because times have changed, Matt. We cannot really compare.
So times change when it suits who?
No. Times have changed, and we have to live in a realistic world. Okay, this is what it is right now. And how do we manage the devices that we have? How do we manage our productivity? By saying, when I were 5 years old, or really having a nostalgic moment for the times of before, is really not being realistic, because we cannot get that time back, and technology advances at such a dynamic rate. You will
you have to move on with the time.
You have to move on, but you have to learn how to manage it, and that is the issue. I believe that is the real crux of the discussion right now.
Kathy, if we were all mature about your point of view, then maybe we could take the phone to work. But not everybody's mature about this. No. So how are you going to control that part of it?
That's why I'm saying it's not about maturity in regards to taking the phone to work. Whether you have your phone to work or not, there are some persons who are extremely, extremely controlled and will not touch their phones. There's those who are not check their phones. But as we're talking about, is it something to be controlled by management or not? We're not talking about, is it something that we're going to control on our own personal basis? Because a lot of us, if we know we have access to it, we will access it. You know.
So that's what that's why the maturity discussion comes in, because if you take your phone to work and let's take a few phone calls. Hello, it's not about me. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Matt, why not allow the school children to take their phone to school? Matt, we have gotten too sophisticated. What are you talking about in case of an emergency? How many, we live in America or in Iraq, how many emergencies? If your child has a problem in school, the school will call you. So if I'm a businessman, Matt, I will not allow my workers to come to work for me with their phones, because they're not giving me productivity. I have to pay them at the end of the day.
You're saying that they're distracted all day?
All day they're in a phone, and people coming and asking them for things, and they're in a phone, and people wait. I get angry when I go to a business place and I see people on the phone and I'm asking them a question and they're on the phone. This is rubbish. We have gotten too sophisticated.
Yeah, here's the caller's point. We've gotten too sophisticated. And that lends to customer service. But 449-309-596, you're going to make a point there anyway.
Sophistication is the nature of the game. And as we mentioned a while ago, we cannot stop technology. We cannot stop the dynamic rate at which new applications are being created and developed. And so it's about, how do we manage it? How do we work with it? How do we get productivity in our workplace? And that is one way some people are dealing with it. Putting a ban on it while you're at work. You can use it while you're on your break or at lunch and after hours when you're out of the workplace. What we're asking, is that appropriate? Is that what the question is? What we're saying, is it appropriate that employers do so?
Hello.
Matt?
Yes.
Good afternoon to your guest also.
Yes.
Matt, I as an employer, you can come to work with your phone in if you want, but it stays in your pocket or your bag. It stays in your pocket or your bag.
Why?
I entered a store last week. And I entered and I was walking around. There were 3 members of staff in that store. Not one of them came to me. I was walking out. That is one ask. Excuse me, can I help you? So I stood up and I said, are you all serious? I've been in there for more than 5 minutes. You're all on the phone texting and doing what you all want on the phone. And when I'm walking, that's when you're asking me if you can help me. I said goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you too. Hello, talk to me.
Hey, Matt, good afternoon.
How you doing, bro?
That's very interesting.
But you know, Matt, this is something that has been dealt with, and companies have been dealing with it for a while now. And a practice or policy that many companies have been using, and I find it reasonable, is that there is to be no visible cell phone use, which means no customer should be able to see an attendant on the cell phone. But there are times, so for example, as the lady made a point, in the real world, there will be occasions when a cell phone will be helpful for the person, but just as we said, no visible cell phone use that takes care of customers not getting service when they desire or deserve it. Thank you, Michael. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Somebody said, if a policy is in the place is in place at work, then persons are not allowed to use their phone during working hours. So that person is basically saying, from my interpretation, that maybe there should be policies at work, Kathy.
But it have to be policy because you cannot just tell somebody by word of mouth. It has to be, if you want to put it as a rule, you have to put it as a policy where employees need to sign off and agree with it. The caller made a very, very good point, and it comes back to the basic baseline of customer service that we have been making for the past couple of weeks with regards to visible use of your cell phone. And it also ties in what you just spoke about when you mentioned maturity. It's about how do we serve the customer and how do we look at the customer. The customer comes in and the customer is a business. If anybody comes in, we should pay the customer first attention. You can't have, for me, you can't have your cell phone in your bag. It's about, as the caller just called about, is how you use it, how mature you are at using it. And as well, okay, look, let us look. One of our early callers spoke about cell phones at school. I will always use Convent High School. Mrs. Dublin is doing an awesome job in terms of the use of devices at school. Even now, they're right now doing exams on laptops, and it's about, that is the world in which we live in. We have to learn how to use it. We have to learn how to manage it. All the children have to sign up to a policy. They can bring their phones to school. They are not allowed to use it visibly in school. They allow their use of their devices, and the school has a very, very secure firewall in which things are blocked off and managed and controlled. This is what we're talking about in the workplace. How is it managed and how is it controlled? Have a session for and then the children are trained. Last week there were PTAs for all the forms, for parents for all the forms, and I must say there was a very, very good turnout in terms of training us parents as to what to understand about the use of social media and where the children can and cannot go to and the dangers and stuff like that. Why can't that be introduced into the workplace in terms of it comes under training? And when we come back to one of the topics we spoke about before about training the employees, all this can be part about training the employees about how to use your devices, when to use your devices in line with customer service.
All right, let's take a phone call. We have just about 5 more minutes. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes.
I think we get so carried away with that cell phone business that we endanger our own lives. There's a situation in Canefield in a certain gas station, I'm not going to call the name, that one of the gas attendants, sitting next to the gas pump with her cell phone in her ears, while there's a big sign on this very pump saying, well, no cell phone use allowed there.
All right, caller, thank you very much. 1:55. We are moving forward with this discussion. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt, and good afternoon to your guest.
Yes.
Yeah, Matt is making a very important point. The thing is how you manage the technology. There'll always be technology, and we have to learn to use technology to our advantage and not our disadvantage. Not many of us have become slaves to technology. Instead of letting the technology serve us, we serve the technology. You go into, as a previous caller said, you go into business places and the people are on their phones and you're there and it's as though they just ignore you, they don't see you at all. And somebody made a point about emergency. And Matt, I hate to hear people use these excuses. There were emergency before, even when I was born. And before I was born, there were emergencies at school. Children break their legs, children, your house on fire and what have you. What do? Do you take care of it? As a matter of fact, I used to tell myself, if my house is on fire, don't call me. Call the fire department, because I cannot put out the fire. If my child break his leg or whatever at school, call the emergency department. And many of us, when we think we go, there is an accident or so on, and so many people there, and just in there in the police and the people from the emergency department for doing their work. So it's how we use the technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, this is Q95, right?
It is, yeah.
Right. I've been following this topic for a long time. Now, the question of whether people should have their cell phone at work or not, I think it is down to the employers. I think customer service in Dominica generally is not very good, if I may say so. And I think when you advertise for a job and you interview the people, you ought to tell them what is expected of them. And I do not think that they should have their telephone at work to take a call at any time they want. I think every employee should know their employer's landline number. And if there's an emergency, somebody want to call, they'll call the company, and then they will notify the employee. They'll take the message and notify the employee. But I think it is basically down to training. I think employers do not train their employees well enough. They really need to train them and let them know when you're at work, you cannot be on your phone when a customer comes in and then you're on your phone and not taking care of the customer. I think you've got to blame the employers for that. I've been following that topic for a long time. I've been wanting to make a comment on that for a very, very long time. I know you haven't got much time. I would like to talk more about it, but anyway.
All right. Is this the gentleman that was in my studio some time ago?
Sorry?
Is it the gentleman that was in the studio some time ago with Yui? You just sound like somebody that I know.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that actually.
I am saying, were you in studios with me recently?
Would I stay with you recently?
Were you in studios with me recently?
No, I wasn't actually, no.
All right, you sound like somebody that I know. But anyway, we're going to come back next week. All the telephone lines are ringing at this point. Kathy, you know what we do when you come around. It's always a little controversial. Speaking about social skills and customer service, we'll do it again next week. Right, Kathy?
As long as God brings me back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll have more time next week. Thank you so much.
Dominica Calypso Association in collaboration with headline sponsor Flow and Heineken present the 27th Calypso Monarch Finals on Saturday, February 25th, 8:30 p.m. at the Eddie Andre Carnival City Porters Flow. Can King Dice continue his dominance and rewrite the history books? What do you have to say, the genius?
I know that's why.
Or can JD go all the way?
All the way this time.
Can the bomb finally conquer with love and respect?
Respect for one another.
And what about the web and his nice boy?
He was a nice boy.
Has the Calypso formula returned the daddy chest?
So are we about the judging criteria?
Or will the caresser get stuck in a minor key?
The tie up the tongue in me minor key.
What about the ghetto youths and Jenny?
Ghetto youth, are you ready?
Any free lunch at Tasha P?
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Will love in Dominica be enough for Stephen?
I come from TNT and was embraced by Whitey Kubuli.
Or will the conqueror lion make it 9 with flowers?
Flowers, flowers.
Grounds $80 sitting 120 EC. The Grand Calypso Finals at the Eddie Andre Carnival City Saturday, February 25th. Sakaimana.
Mascap Massive, this is your final tent. Yes, Flight 767 is making its final landing, its final stop back at the for showdown mass camp, champ of the camp. Who will it be? Who will it be? Daniel, Inciter, Chelsea, Trinity, Vigilante, Picklock, Iration, Inoa, Deros, Peter Pross. Will it be Songproof, Mask Eruption, Judgment, Bendo, Leona, Triumph, Checo, Sai, Bob, or King Dice? Your guess is as good as mine. Ooh, we had fun on our journey of love, honoring our brother Buble. But let's continue celebrating his life with one final show, one final tent. This Thursday 26th, it is the champ of the camp at the Holland Plaza. More sweet Calypso, more fun, more entertainment. Come, bring a friend, and well-stocked bar awaits you. It's champ of the camp.
D-Music, Digicel's brand new music app. Available only from Digicel.
Digicel Carnival. Feel the mass with Digicel and B105 to win cool down buckets, cash, and more weekly. Activate a data plan. Sign up on a new mobile TV.